Another edition of What's Up, Flobo? And if it looks like I got hit by a bus, the reason is, I just woke up like 10 minutes ago. Recording this on a Tuesday morning ahead of the Mac Mania podcast. For those of you guys don't know, it's a podcast. I get in with some of my bestest buds, and we talk about that wrestling life every Tuesday morning on Spotify. And people are saying, why do you release a show Wednesday that you record Tuesday? And I say, I gladly pay you Tuesday for a cheeseburger today. No, I gladly say that helps me warm up the old voice. That's why I sound like Barry White impressionist as I try to get myself in performing status. And that way I get to hang with you. Gotta say thanks again, as always, for checking out this episode and all the other episodes in the What's Up Flobo canon. You can find that out over at youtube.com/Flobo Boys. And it's June, and so I gotta tell you, I gotta put a little extra stank on it. There's many ways to support the homie, many ways to support the show. You can be like my best friend, Craig Robson over there in Jolly Old, who bought me a coffee, buymeacoffee.com/Flobo Boys. Or if you're into that whole Patreon thing, monthly content updates, interviews, and more, it is patreon.com/Flobo Boys. We call it the Boisterous Crew because everyone loves hearing puns, even though I don't. And lastly, if you want to get yourself some of that drip, shirts, hats, mugs, and more, flobito.threadless.com. New designs are on the way for the summer of 2022. Got to shout out to, I have the Ovanta side of me has another design coming down the pipe. Now, it is the middle of June, which is crazy because this last week, it was the first week of May. 2022 is taking the speed of 2021 and just turning it up. Can't believe we're in the thick of summer. I have to believe it because it's not even 7 a.m. and it's bright AF in my apartment. I had the ring light on a couple weeks ago to make sure people could see my face, and now there's so much more of my face with the light we're getting. But that said, and it is the birthday month of Jolly Old Flobito, just want to give you a bit of an update of what's going on with different aspects of life, but a bit of an update on that level. First and foremost, the Mets in California project, seeing my boys play in all of the California stadium, is up to 4 stadiums down. I got one more to go. That's the Oakland Coliseum. Actually, the original game I bought tickets for, that's in September. But in June, there was an 8-day stretch where I was in LA, I was in San Diego, and I went back to quote unquote LA, the Los Angeles Angels, even though they play in Anaheim, which is about 40 miles away from the LA core. I'm two wins and 2 losses, 2-2 over those first 4 games. The ones that we lost weren't great. They were more. One was a blowout, and one was like so close we had it, but we let 2 late runs in. That was the Dodger game, but it's still pretty cool to see Mets fans from all over. I'm still kind of shy when I go out there. I see Mets fans, I give them the nod, but I'm never the guy to be like, yo, you like the Mets and you're in California? I like the Mets and we're in California. Let's be buddies. On Twitter, yeah, I'm a chatty Cathy, to quote the phrase of my colleague Jack Farmer. I'm a chatty Cathy, but when it comes to real life, you don't know. Like, it's that balance of like, is it a nerddom I have with sports, or sports is kind of like wrestling, where you are a fan, but you want to out yourself as a super fan, especially being the away team so many miles away. At the same time, it's sports. Everyone understands sports. Everyone gets sports. Everyone gets traveling supporters, so it shouldn't be a big of a deal. I overthink it, like most times in my life. Really, really fun to see it. For a list of activities for me that are safe, given the current climate, that COVID is not over. I think baseball games are pretty cool. I'll get cheap tickets and I'll be up in the rafters. I'm outside. I feel a little bit more confident when I take off my mask to like eat and drink, that sort of thing. So I got to give a props to baseball coming in the clutch, where it doesn't make me feel like I'm locked in a cage. Also, you guys have been following me on Facebook personally or on my Novanta Twitter at NovantaRL. I had a bit of a charity challenge for my birthday. With the pandemic, the shutdown, I was celebrating my birthday differently. 2 years ago, I basically ate inside my apartment alone, and which sounds terrible the way I say it, but it was kind of like a introspective kind of thing, which I appreciated, almost like New Year's Day. So last year, I decided to bring my friends into play and ask them if they were around to jump on special bonus editions of Flobo Saw on Netflix, which is a show available on this channel. And I said, well, let me try to do something different this year. And this year, I had the idea of donating to a charity, but a charity for each of the years I've been on this planet. And I asked my friends to come in with suggestions of charities they love, charities to support. The charities I usually donate to, for those who are just curious, it's the New York Transit Museum, the Innocence Project, Wikipedia/Wikimedia. Those are the big three for me. Omicron, Delta Kappa, the National Honor Society, which I'm a member of. Those are the big four, I should say. So to hear what other people were suggesting I donate to, it was interesting and really fun to support. I got to give an extra shout out to the Trevor Project, because when I mentioned this, I had 3 to 4 different friends ask me to support the Trevor Project, which is an organization that helps to support initiatives for mental health in the LGBTQ community. I had no idea that charity existed, but it seems that a lot of my friends did. But I'm looking at the list now. Those of you on the Patreon, patreon.com/Flobo Boyce, there's a full list of the charities I supported. So if you wanted to see that, make sure you can remember. But there's some charities such like my mom suggested Tunnels to Towers and the Shriners. I had the big four, got some bit of support. Trevor Project, like I said, the Kind Mouse, and more. So thank you so much for being a part of this year's charity challenge. I would say I would not recommend doing it every year, because the fraud alert of my card was like, what's going on? All these small microtransactions all around. Are you okay, bro? I was like, no, I'm just being altruistic. Stop. But that was definitely an experience to be able to help out people in need during this month of June. And lastly, if you haven't already, the Hollywood Fringe is rolling through Los Angeles right now on the last night, or the penultimate night of the Fringe Festival. I'm going to be preparing at the Red Gorilla Comedy Show. Get your tickets at the HollywoodFringe.org, I think is the website. If you want to see me do a rare stand-up comedy event, I won't say special, a rare stand-up comedy event, June 25th, live from Oh My Ribs Theater. Tickets are $10, I think. And I think I'll have jokes. I think. And I think you would laugh. I think. That does it for me on this edition, this very mid-June edition, Midsummer's Night edition of What's Up, Flo. We'll be back next week and talk more about what's going on in the world of Flobito. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Catch you later. Oh, and say hi to your mother for me. I bet she misses you. She's worried